Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on, but for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Now McManus on to... This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, unless there's a postseason meeting later in the year, this is most likely the final time that the Broncos and Raiders will play in Oakland. Of course, so much history between the two since their inaugural season in the AFL back in 1960. Broncos and Raiders, they've been locked together in the same division, facing off twice a season. And this rivalry also stands as the most common pairing for Monday night games like we have here, 18 times, the most of any two teams.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
He's going to look deep down the field, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards there on the catch and run. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
First out, here's the run with Martin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Carr. Out to the right here to Wilson. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Check 24.
Get down. Get down. Get down.
And that'll set him back 5.
Down. 180.
Check my 21. You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack.
25. Check 25.
Recon, 132 fighter.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
The kick by Carlson is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Hamilton, the 4th-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. 2nd-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A well-executed 22-yard gain. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On play action, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
first down. It's Martin. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. On the stop that time, it was Josey Jewell.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 24, Carr. Man open left side is Brown. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 12-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr gives to Rashard. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down.
Come get some. He don't want it.
Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let him know. Let him know. Let him go.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
10-2 start. 51 on Mike, boy, 51. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll run with Lindsey. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Lock now on 3rd and goal. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. A 9-yard touchdown there as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Martin. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did. A lot of people undrafted and has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. His 2nd sack of the night. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
1st down, Denver.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Lock now on 1st down. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Back to the air on second down. It's Locke. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Locke now on first down. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
You draw Porter.
And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsay. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Locke now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Locke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player, not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On 3rd down, here's Lindsay. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And McManus able to put it through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
I got 80 weapons.
On third and long, it's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week one. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Man open left side, it's Williams. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Monday, down. 280. 47. Cut.
the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 2nd and 15 now. Carr. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the kick off in time. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
1st down, Broncos.
On the ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
You go tight. You got tight. General Woods.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
A gain of 16 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 1st down gains.
At the 48-yard line.
Ready, ready. 30 base. We want this.
Block off of play action. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Block now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Play.
Check right. Watch it divide.
Switch up. Switch up. Now.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Freeman. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Broncos push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Check. Crunch.
Now Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Carr. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the 2nd half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And take it right on the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10
Bring it up.
at their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And a 10th carry here for Martin. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. From the 45 on 2nd down. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, Carr. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. And he's going to go down again. Von Miller. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
On 1st down, Lindsey. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Daryl Worley up to make the tackle.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Ready.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Watch the twist.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Operating from the gun. Carr, throw left side, complete. It's Brown. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have on his side. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Carr, and the Broncos get there and take him down. Derek Wolfe able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
No, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Lindsey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll run here with Lindsey. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Freeman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
4 yards the pickup, first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Martin. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. On first down, Martin. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more of a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, Richard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Easy work. It's easy work. It's coming again.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Broncos' 40-yard line.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.